and welcome to the start of this reading vlog, in which I will be reading Loveless by Alice Oseman. I've already talked so much about how excited I am for this book and how it's one of my most anticipated reads ever, basically. So I won't get into that now. This book is about a girl named Georgia, and she is studying university, and she has never been in love. She's never kissed anyone or had a crush on anyone, but she figures that now that she's studying university and is about to meet a lot of new people, it's probably just a matter of time before her love story begins. So yeah, that's sort of the premise of this book. It's currently Sunday the 13th of September, I think. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take me to read this book. I'm not a very fast reader, and I'm actually reading another book as well right now. I usually only read one book at a time, but I really wanted to get this vlog started, so I decided that I would, even though I'm reading another book. I haven't decided whether I'll put that book on hold while I concentrate on this one, or if I'll try and read both books simultaneously. So I guess we'll just have to see. I'll probably be reading this for most of the week anyway. But yeah, right now I'm just going to sit here and get as far into this as I can. And I will be back with an update when I've gotten a little bit into it. So it's a bit later, and I've just been sitting here reading. I'm up to page 81, I think. 81. This is really fast to read. I don't feel like I've spent much time at all getting to page 81, so this is really easy to read, and I'm very much into it. I'm enjoying it so much. I can already relate to the main character Georgia so much. In particular, she talks about she's 18 years old in this, and she talks about how when she was younger, some of her friends or someone would ask her who she thought was good looking or who she was attracted to out of the guys at school, and she would just sort of randomly pick a guy out of a photo, one that she thought was sort of attractive. And I had sort of the same experience at school, where some friends would ask me who in our class that I liked, and I would say that I didn't like anyone, and they would say, well, I had to like someone, because everyone did. So I would just pick a guy, basically. I picked the guy in our class that I thought was the nicest, and I sort of fake liked him for a couple of years, probably. So yeah, I could definitely relate to that. And also, Georgia talks about how romance and relationships and all that sound so nice in theory, but when it comes down to actually doing it or being in that situation, she can't really see herself in that. And yeah, I totally relate to that too. She talks about how she reads a lot of fan fiction, and how she loves romance, basically. And I also was like that. I also read a lot of fan fiction. I loved like romantic movies and all that stuff. So everything was just so nice in theory. But when it came down to it, I just couldn't really see myself doing it, or I wasn't feeling it for myself, basically. So yeah, I'm very much enjoying this book. I've decided to tab it. I put in a tab every time there's something that I feel I can relate to, basically. So I already have quite a lot of tabs here. So yeah, I'm very excited to continue it. I'm very much enjoying it so far, so it's going really well. Hello. It's Tuesday evening. Oh, there's light above my head. It's a lamp. So yeah. Anyway, I've been reading more of Loveless. I'm up to page 192, and I'm still very much enjoying this. It's sort of making me a bit sad as well, just because Georgia, the main character, she is so determined to just find someone, basically, because she thinks she needs to in order to just be normal, I guess, and be how she thinks she's supposed to be and do what she thinks she's supposed to do. And I mean, Georgia, she and I, we're quite different, even though we're both pretty introverted and we both have like different experiences, but still I can just recognize so much in like her way of thinking, just in like how she's basically trying to force it. She's thinking like, if I just date this person, or if I just spend time with this person, then maybe I'll fall in love with him, or maybe I'll feel something for him. And like, yeah, I was like that too. Even though I was a bit older than Georgia is in this, when I sort of went through the same thing of just like going on dates because I figured that, you know, eventually I would feel something for someone. And it was super uncomfortable and it felt so wrong and so weird, but you just did it because you were supposed to. And it makes me so sad that like we're taught that this is how it's supposed to be. Like you're supposed to go out there and you're supposed to find someone, and if you don't, you're just told like, oh, you'll find someone someday, or your person is out there, just hang in there, it will happen. And like, we're just not sort of taught that there are other options, I guess, for a lack of a better word. And yeah, I mean, this book just reminds me of all those feelings that I grew up with and that I still feel sometimes, just because you do feel very weird sometimes. So yeah, I mean, my thoughts are sort of all over the place when I'm reading this, because it's sort of like I'm reliving experiences and like feelings that I've had throughout my life, and it makes me feel, I mean, I think it's the first time ever I've seen those feelings and those experiences in a book, and that makes me so happy. But at the same time, it makes me sad, just that, you know, we have to go through those things. Anyway, that was a long ramble. I'm going to continue reading this now. Like I said, I'm up to page 192, so I'm almost halfway through. I'm still reading this really quickly, but that's also because I'm enjoying it, so I guess I'll talk to you later. Hello. This is how much I have left of the book. It's about 100 pages, so I think I'll probably finish it tomorrow. I don't think I'll read the rest today, but probably tomorrow. It's currently Thursday, and if you can hear some music in the background, it's because there's currently an ice cream truck right outside my apartment, and it's playing music from time to time, so there's that. Yeah, like I said, I don't have much left of the book, so I'll probably talk about it tomorrow, about like my final thoughts and stuff. But I feel like I've talked about a lot about how I can relate to the book, but I haven't really talked about like other aspects of the book that I like. But I just feel like like it's set in university. It's set during the main character's first year at university, so they're like 18, 19. I don't know, maybe that makes this technically more of a new adult than young adult. But it reads very much like new adult, I feel like. Apart from there's more like drinking and talk about sex. Not like details or anything, but it's there. So maybe that is what makes it different from YA. But apart from that, I feel like it reads very much like YA. It's very like the language and the style of it feels YA. It's super easy to read and super engaging too. And also I feel like Alice Oseman is just really good at writing like friendship groups and like different relationships within the friendship groups, and like just like friendship in general really. There's also like so much diversity in here, but I expect nothing less from Alice Oseman. She's always good at that. And also I feel like it's just the dialogue is just very good, and also this book just feels very much like it's set in our time. There's a lot of like pop cultural references in here that makes it feel very modern. There's also, and that's probably, I mean, a bit less to my liking, but there's also quite a bit of focus on like Shakespeare. I don't care about Shakespeare at all, and for some reason this year and last year I keep picking up a lot of books where the characters are very much into Shakespeare, and so that is like a major focus in the book. It's not too bad in here. The main characters are doing like a Shakespeare play, so they're super into that, but it's not like too much of a focus in here, I feel like. So it's not like making the reading experience for me less enjoyable, but it's definitely a theme in here, so if you're into that, then this one has it. But yeah, I'm very much enjoying this. I just keep tabbing a lot of stuff, and I feel like it's gotten just better and better as the main character's journey continues, really. But yeah, I think I'm going to talk about like my overall feelings and just wrap up my thoughts about this tomorrow. I have a lot of feelings about this. I have a lot of thoughts about this, a lot of them which I've already talked about. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow because I feel like I'm just gonna keep repeating myself, really. So yeah, I have about 100 pages left, still very much enjoying this, and I can't wait to continue. I finished it. Not gonna lie, the ending made me a little bit emotional. It was a very satisfying ending. I loved it. Georgia went through a really messy journey in her like quest to figure herself out. It was messy and it was full of drama, but she was able to figure things out way faster than I did, so there's that. Honestly, I can't remember at this point what I've talked about in previous clips, so I might be repeating myself a lot here, but we're just going to have to live with that, I guess. Yeah, I have so many thoughts and feelings about this book. I wasn't surprised that I was able to relate to this book because I kind of expected that, honestly. But I was surprised by how much I was able to relate to Georgia's story. There was just so many things in here that I honestly didn't think that other people might feel too. Things that I've felt over the years that I thought I was alone in, basically. And I particularly appreciated how it was mentioned in here, like after Georgia kind of figures out that she is ROAs, she goes through a bit of a grieving period. She's not happy, like she's sad because she sort of has to rethink everything. Because we're sort of taught, I guess, our whole lives and shown, and we're seeing it everywhere, that like romantic love is basically the goal in life, I guess. It's the one thing that's supposed to make you happy, the one thing you should like aim for, and like the whole point in life, it seems sometimes, is to find a partner, basically. And when you realize that that's not in the cards for you, you sort of have to rethink everything. And I went through that myself. I'm still kind of struggling with those thoughts sometimes. And I never even thought about that it was a kind of grief until I read it in this book. And yeah, it totally is. And I felt it too, and I still feel it. And that's the kind of thing that I appreciate about this book. And I felt like it was so obvious that this book is written by someone who's gone through these things. It's so clear to me that this is own voices, because there's so many things in here that I don't think non-ROA's person would even think about, basically. And I do realize that not every aromantic or asexual person is going to see themselves as much in this book as I did, probably, because everyone's experience and everyone's journey is different. And not everyone is going to relate as much as I did, probably, but personally this book was just, I've never experienced a book where I've seen myself this much. Like, I feel kind of seen, I feel validated in a way that I haven't really experienced ever, I think. And I think that this book is going to be so important to so many people, because it's not easy, and it's pretty lonely to have an identity, I guess, that's never really seen anywhere, like in movies or on TV or in books. I feel like it's gotten better in books over the last few years. There are asexual and aromantic characters out there now, but I don't think I've ever seen a movie with an asexual or aromantic character, and I don't really see it talked about anywhere. So I feel that's the reason why it took me so long to figure out who I was, because I just thought I was super weird for like never liking anyone and never having any like romantic interest in anyone. So yeah, I think that a lot of people is going to really appreciate this, and I also think that for people who doesn't know anything about being aromantic or asexual, this is probably going to be pretty educational as well, because in like a lot of things are explained about aromanticism and asexuality as Georgia goes on her journey to figure things out. So there's kind of a bit of learning here if you don't know anything. But this book is just, I feel like it's so important and it's so very needed. And I think that this is going to be very important to a lot of people, and it's about time that a book like this was written, really. So this was just like a really beautiful book altogether about like, I feel like the center of this book, apart from like Georgia's journey to figure herself out, is just the importance of friendships, really, and how beautiful friendships can be, and how messy and how much drama there can be, but how there's also so much love between friends. And yeah, that was just really beautiful. And I don't know, I'm just kind of emotional, really, reading this. And I don't know if I have much more to say about it, really. It was a really special reading experience for me, and I appreciate this book so much, and I'm so happy that it exists, and I'm so happy for all the people who's going to read this and see themselves and maybe feel a little less lonely, basically. So I guess that's going to be it for this reading vlog. It's been a bit of it's been a fun but also kind of emotional week for me reading this. It sort of brought back a lot of feelings that I've experienced over the years as I watched or read about Georgia going through her things, I guess. But I'm very happy that I finally got to read this, and I hope that some of you will consider picking it up as well. So that's going to be it for now. Thank you all for watching if you made your way through all my rambling about this book. So I will see you in my next video. Bye!